So I lost 20 pounds of body fat in 3 months without losing any muscle. Right here, I have a screenshot of my body weight. And as you can see here, I've been logging my weight every day for the past 3 months. And I actually lost more than 20 pounds. I lost 23 pounds. Now, the reason why I say 20 pounds is because a few pounds of that is water weight. And so I would say about 20 pounds of actual body fat is what I lost in 3 months. And you can see here the graph, there's ups and downs. So it's definitely not a linear journey when you're trying to lose weight. But over the long term, you can see I was going down. And today is May 30th, and I weighed in at 191.4 pounds. So 3 months ago, I was 214 pounds right at the beginning of March, and now we're approaching the end of May. So that's about 3 months right there. What I'm going to show you in this video is exactly how I was able to achieve this, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can do the same. And it doesn't matter if you work out, if you're a bodybuilder, or if you just want to lose weight. The principles that I will talk about in this video apply to everybody. And you can copy this exact formula for losing weight in a sustainable way. And if you are someone that works out and you want to build muscle, you might actually be able to build muscle while losing fat. Now, why should you listen to me? I went through this process. I literally have experienced this result myself. You can see here these progress pictures. This was me at 214 pounds. I was bulking right here. I was eating in a calorie surplus, trying to build muscle. And now this is me very recently. And this is what I look like, about 20 pounds down from the previous picture. And I kept all my muscle. And I'm actually gonna keep cutting, keep shredding for my bodybuilding show. So I have 2 more months of shredding fat. But 3 months and 20 pounds in 3 months is a lot of progress. So I wanted to make this video to share with you guys how I was able to do this and how you can do the exact same thing that I did. Regardless if you're a bodybuilder, even if you don't work out, these are still the same principles. So let's get right into it. First, I want to talk about why we store fat on our body. What is the purpose of body fat? This is actually very important to understand, and things will make a lot more sense towards the end of this video. So make sure you stick around. So the fat on our body has multiple purposes, but a very important purpose it is an energy storage. Your body needs energy to function. It needs energy to circulate blood, to breathe, to regulate your hormones, build new hormones. And so every day, constantly, every single second of your life, your body is burning energy. And so when we eat food, we are consuming energy that our body uses. And the fat that we store on our body is also a source of energy that our body uses when we don't have food to eat. So you can imagine this energy storage like the gas tank of a car. You fill up the gas tank of that car because it needs that fuel to run the engine and to get the car going. When the gas tank in that car runs out of fuel, the car can't function anymore. It doesn't have energy to burn. Your body is actually very similar to this. And so if you ever went a long period of time without eating food or you were fasting, you probably had low energy. And that's because you didn't supply your body with food, which is energy. So if you can understand this principle, what I'm about to share with you next is going to make a lot of sense. So if we understand that our body fat is basically an energy storage that our body uses in order for us to exercise, to run, to jump, to move around, and do all these activities that require energy, we can manipulate this energy storage. So how can we manipulate this energy storage? In other words, how can I make this energy storage smaller? I want to make this very clear. We don't want to completely empty out this energy storage. We don't want to completely get rid of all of our body fat. That's actually very unhealthy. And it's actually not possible to do that without dying. When you get to a very low body fat percentage, I'm talking like single digit, 6%, 5% body fat, your hormones stop working, you get very low energy levels, your organs might shut down, and it just gets dangerous. And this is pretty much what bodybuilders do when they compete for a bodybuilding show. They push the limits for how low they can get their body fat so that they can look the most lean and conditioned on stage. And this can get very unhealthy, which is why bodybuilders only get that lean for a short period of time when they compete and immediately come back up to a healthy body fat level. Because holding that low body fat level year round is unsustainable and you'll just feel like crap all the time. So let's talk about how we can manipulate our body fat in a healthy and sustainable way to lose body fat and get shredded. So you have to understand that your body burns a certain number of calories every day, and this number is different for everybody. You can use an online calculator to figure out what this number is. I'm going to link below a free online calculator that I use. I'm not sponsored or affiliated with this website in any way. So you can go on that website and just put in your height and weight and activity levels real quick to get an estimation of the number of calories that you burn in a day. So let's say you burn 2,800 calories in a day. I'm going to use this number as an example. So 2,800 is your maintenance level of calories. This means if you were to eat 2,800 calories in a day, you're neither going to gain weight or lose weight. You're going to remain the same. This is because you're consuming exactly the amount of energy that your body needs to sustain itself. Now let's say you consume 500 calories below your maintenance level of calories. In this case, 2,300 calories in a day. Because your body needs 2,800 calories, that remaining 500 calories, which it didn't get from food, it's going to pull that energy from your fat storage, also known as your energy tank. It's going to pull 500 calories away from that. And on the other hand, let's say you eat 500 calories above your maintenance level of calories. In this case, it would be 3,300 calories. That extra 500 calories that you consumed has to go somewhere. And because your body doesn't need this energy right now, it's going to store this energy as fat so that it can be used later when there's not a supply of food. Now here's the cool thing. With all this information, we can calculate exactly how fast and how long it will take us to lose a certain amount of body fat in pounds. There is 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. This means if you eat in a 500 calorie deficit every day, you are going to lose 1 pound of fat in a week because there's 7 days in a week. And 7 times 500 is 3,500 calories. And if you were to eat in a 1,000 calorie deficit every day, which is double the amount, you would lose 2 pounds of fat in a week. Now you're probably wondering, how big of a calorie deficit should I be in? Why not just be in a massive 2,000 calorie deficit every day and lose 4 pounds of fat a week? More is better, right? You're wrong. You do not want to be in that big of a deficit for a couple of reasons. The first reason is you will feel hungry all the time. With such a small amount of food intake, you're eventually going to binge eat and completely undo all the work that you did. You don't want to starve yourself in this process. The second reason is you will have very low energy levels and very low motivation. You won't have the motivation to go to the gym. You won't have the motivation to go to work. You're just going to want to lay around all day because you have no energy. And the third reason is you're not just going to lose fat, you're also going to lose muscle. And if you've been consistently going to the gym and spending a bunch of time and putting in a lot of effort to build this muscle, you do not want to lose that muscle and undo all the hard work that you did. So how do we keep the muscle and only lose the fat? We lose the fat slowly. We stay in a smaller deficit. Yes, it's going to take a little bit longer to lose the fat, but guess what? You're going to keep all the muscle. And once you get lean, you're going to look even better. You're going to look even more muscular and toned. But let's say you don't care about muscle. You don't even work out. You just want to lose the fat and you want to get there as quick as possible. Well, you should still be in a smaller deficit, and here's why. You won't feel hungry all the time, and so you won't have those late night cravings, and you'll actually be able to stick to this diet. You're not going to be tempted to binge eat and undo all the hard work that you did. Another reason why you should be in a smaller deficit is you're going to have more energy. You're going to feel physically and mentally better, and you'll have motivation to work out and go to work and do all these things, and you're going to be more likely to stick to this plan. You see, the goal here is to be able to stay consistent, and this is a long-term game. What's the point of rushing this process if you're just going to give up in 2 weeks because you were starving yourself and you felt miserable and like crap all the time? Like seriously, what's the point? This is why people struggle with weight loss, and this is why people rebound, because everybody wants quick results. Everyone just wants the quickest and fastest and easiest way to get something done. And unfortunately, that's not how reality works. You have to be patient and you have to not rush this process because you will burn out. And I've seen it happen so many times when people try to lose weight super fast and they make really good progress in the beginning, but it gets so hard that they just give up and rebound. And they give up and they say, oh my gosh, this is so hard. Of course it's hard. You're starving yourself. You're doing it the wrong way. Do not do this to yourself. I promise you, it is much more worth it to take this process slowly and have a long-term approach to this. So I recommend being in a calorie deficit anywhere between 500 to 1,000, but no more than 1,000 calorie deficit. At this point, you're gonna risk losing muscle. And if you're in this smaller calorie deficit range, you might even be able to continue building muscle if you're working out. Keep in mind though, it becomes significantly harder to build muscle the leaner you get. So if you're already at a high body fat percentage, you can be in a calorie deficit, and as long as you're working out, you can still build muscle. So at the end of the day, it just comes down to calories. Calories in, calories out. This is like third grade math. Now in terms of what specific foods you should eat, whether that's carnivore, vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, it doesn't matter, okay? It all comes down to calories. Whenever people say, I did keto and it worked, or I did vegetarian and this worked, or I did intermittent fasting and this worked. If these methods work for you, that's great. But you need to understand the reason why they worked is because it came down to the calories. You see, the reason why your vegetarian diet worked is not because the diet was vegetarian. It's because the vegetarian food options made you eat below your maintenance level of calories. The reason why intermittent fasting worked for you is because you only gave yourself that short time span to eat, let's say 2,000 calories, and you weren't able to eat any more calories later in the night, and it ended up being below your maintenance level of calories and you lost weight. A lot of the times, if you just stick to eating whole foods, those foods are going to be much more satiating, and you can pretty easily get below your maintenance level of calories without even having to track calories. I hope this video was helpful. If you are interested in working with me personally, where I design your nutrition plan and your training plan and have weekly check-in calls with you, you can message me directly or fill out my coaching application, which is in the description. If you have any questions or want to share your experiences, leave a comment below and I'll make sure to respond. And if you want to see more helpful videos like these, make sure you like this video and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.